Hi, I'm Griffin, and I just want to talk about Star Wars. Specifically, Ezra Bridger's lightsaber, or his lightsabers. Now, his lightsaber is kind of in a weird position in the Star Wars universe, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first I want to get into kyber crystals, and why Ezra's kyber crystal could potentially be very unique. So the way that kyber crystals work in the Star Wars universe is that during an event called the Gathering, younglings will be sent out into a cave where they will find their kyber crystal. Usually their kyber crystal calls out to them. Until their youngling finds the kyber crystal, it's kind of a blank slate. It doesn't have a color or anything. And then that kyber crystal will bond with the youngling, and that's what determines the color. That's why some Jedi have blue lightsabers, some Jedi have green lightsabers, some Jedi have purple lightsabers. The color is representative of certain aspects of the Force user, and that Force user's relationship with the Force. Now, we see Ezra go through something like that in Season 1, Episode 10 of Star Wars Rebels. And at the end of that episode, he acquires a kyber crystal that at the very end of the episode we find is blue. So we think, okay, blue is the color that represents Ezra's relationship with the Force. The problem starts to show up, though, at the end of Season 2. Ezra is facing off against Darth Vader on Malachor in an ancient Sith temple, and Ezra being not very well trained, and Darth Vader being Darth Vader, Ezra doesn't stand a chance, and his lightsaber is destroyed. So, big deal. We've seen plenty of lightsabers get destroyed. But then Season 3 comes around, and he's got a green lightsaber, which kind of contradicts what happened in Season 1. I mean, he got a blue lightsaber. Blue is his color. This could potentially be the first time we've ever seen a character in Star Wars go through a change of heart, a change in their relationship with the Force, to such an extent that the color of their lightsaber changes. Now, there's plenty of explanations as to what exactly occurred, why his lightsaber color changed. I just want to talk about two. One that I think could potentially change a lot of how we think about the Force and a Jedi and their relationship with their kyber crystal, and another about what I think happened. So let's, for a moment, assume that Ezra is using the same kyber crystal for both of his lightsabers. His kyber crystal started blue, and then, if it was the same crystal, it changed to green. Now, when we see Ezra using his green lightsaber for the first time, it's at the beginning of Season 3, and at that point he's matured a lot. He's gotten a haircut, he's kind of foregone the blaster-type saber that he had at first, and is instead using a more traditional lightsaber. And he's also kind of become a little moody. He's putting some distance between him and his master, Kanan. Now, the idea that I'm proposing here is that maybe over time, Ezra's connection to the Force changed in such a drastic way over those 6 months that his lightsaber changed colors. Now, we know that a cyan lightsaber does exist in Star Wars canon, cyan being between blue and green. So perhaps over that 6-month period, Ezra had that blue lightsaber crystal, and that blue lightsaber crystal slowly transitioned into green. It's not impossible, but there's not much in the Star Wars canon that would suggest that that is what happened. What I think happened, personally. When we first meet Ezra, he's a bit of a thief. And, by the time of the end of Season 2, when his first lightsaber is destroyed, he's grown a lot, but he's still a kid. He's still picked up a lot of habits from growing up on the streets of Lothal that he might not have broken. Early on, before he gets his lightsaber broken, they're in the Sith temple on Malachor, and Ezra finds an ancient lightsaber. It was actually the second crossguard lightsaber we'd ever seen in Star Wars canon, the first obviously being Kylo Ren's. that lightsaber had a green blade. I don't think that it is out of the question that Ezra pocketed that lightsaber and took it with him. So, maybe after the battle that he and Darth Vader had, perhaps his kyber crystal had been destroyed, but him being a young Jedi fighting the Empire, well, he needed a new lightsaber. So he made use of the green kyber crystal that was within the lightsaber that he had stolen from Malachor. It would make sense. I mean, he was a thief. He was kind of an Aladdin-type character in that he stole to live. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on the topic. It's not terribly important, but it's something that I thought about. I tried to do some research before I made this to see if anyone had thought about this before or if there were any very obvious answers that I had overlooked. And there didn't seem to be much, so I felt like I had a bit of a responsibility to try and cover this a little bit and explain it. So, in closing, I think that Ezra Bridger got the green kyber crystal from the green lightsaber, the green crossguard lightsaber that we see him find on the Sith Temple in Malachor. I think he took that lightsaber with him, and then after his blue lightsaber was destroyed, he used the kyber crystal in that green lightsaber to make his blue one, or to make his second one, I'm sorry. Anyways, that's all I've got, so I hope you liked this, and I'll see you next time, I guess. This is my first time doing something like this, so hope you like it.